Ever tried scraping a website protected by Cloudflare? It can feel impossible, but you can work around its AI defenses to keep your scrapers running. Let me show you how. But first, let me explain how it catches so many threats with such precision. The key lies in 3 tightly integrated layers. Number 1. Reverse proxies, acting as a gatekeeper that inspects traffic, caches content, and filters requests before they reach the origin server. Number 2. Content delivery networks, or CDNs, distributing content globally to reduce latency and absorb heavy traffic spikes. And number 3. Web application wirefall, applying complex rule sets and behavior models to detect and block threats like SQL injections, credential stuffing, and botnets. These systems work together to protect, optimize, and monitor traffic. But while they are excellent for security, they also make it harder for legitimate automation and data pipelines to access public data. So how exactly does Cloudflare detect web scrapers? Cloudflare's detection stack combines traditional rate limits with advanced behavioral analysis. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Request rate and volume checks ensure IPs that are sending too many requests too fast are instantly flagged. Header and fingerprint checks analyze the user agent, IP reputation, and TLS fingerprints to identify non-browser clients. Behavioral tracking compares mouse movements, scroll patterns, and timing against human baselines. JavaScript challenges and device fingerprinting require visitors to execute scripts or reveal subtle device traits to detect automated traffic, and honeypots place hidden links or endpoints in HTML that only bots will follow. Together, these methods form a dynamic detection net powered by AI models that constantly adapt to new bot behavior. So how do you pass Cloudflare's bot protection? Instead of trying to bypass Cloudflare, the right approach is to architect your pipeline to operate within ethical and technical boundaries. Here are the best practices to use. Number 1. Sending requests directly to the origin IP address. This is one of the simplest ways to bypass Cloudflare when it works. If you can find the website's IP, connect to it directly instead of going through the Cloudflare network. That can avoid JavaScript challenges, CDN rate limits, and some firewall rules, but only if the origin server is not firewalled. How do you find an origin IP? Start with historical DNS and passive DNS services to look for old A or quadruple A records that may reveal the origin. Search internet scanners like Census and Showdown for servers that match the target domain or host names. Use tools such as Cloudflare to surface leaked or previously recorded origin addresses, and inspect raw email headers in the message source and check the earliest received lines for an originating IP. These approaches are hit or miss and often paid, so test carefully with small requests before scaling up to avoid getting blocked. Number 2. Scraping cached pages via the Wayback Machine. Now, Google's cache options may be gone, but the Wayback Machine still lets you access old versions of websites. It stores snapshots over time, allowing you to view and scrape static content. Keep in mind that these cached pages can miss dynamic elements like JavaScript content, and the data may be outdated. So always check the snapshot date and focus on the specific URLs and time ranges that match your needs to avoid collecting irrelevant or stale information. Number 3. Using headless browsers with stealth plugins. A headless browser with a stealth plugin like Puppeteer or Playwright, or an optimized Selenium setup, is one of the most reliable ways to bypass Cloudflare protection. It executes the page JavaScript and hides common automation signals, so each session looks like a real browser. This helps bypass JavaScript challenges, canvas, and navigator checks and behavior tests. Now, while this is a very effective solution, it's also a temporary one. Cloudflare constantly updates its fingerprinting and ML models, so a stealth trick that works today can be patched tomorrow. For that reason, relying on stealth browsers alone isn't the best long-term strategy, which brings us to the next layer. Number 4. Using proxies and IP address rotation. Cloudflare keeps a close eye on requests volume and IP reputation, so too many requests from a single IP will quickly trigger rate limits or bans. So how do proxies help you stay under the radar? Residential proxies spread requests across a large pool of rotating IPs, so each address looks like a different client instead of one scraper. They help you bypass Cloudflare protection by resetting request counters per IP, so no single address hits volumetric limits, providing due targeting so you can match suspected user regions and letting you swap out flagged IPs so you can keep scraping without interruptions. However, proxies can't hide bot-like user agents or JavaScript leaks, so pair IP rotation with a headful browser or a headless browser with a stealth plugin to stay undetected. Number 5. Using a captcha solver. While residential proxies can help you bypass captcha tests by changing your IP, combining them with a dedicated captcha solving service can be even more effective. It'll keep your pipeline running when Cloudflare serves a captcha as a soft check. These solvers work by automatically detecting the challenge, sending it to an external API for solving, feeding the solution back into your scraper so it can continue without manual input. They are effective, but frequent triggers can increase costs and signal automation. That's why it's best to treat them as a backup rather than your main Cloudflare bypassing method. So what's the best way to scrape Cloudflare-protected websites? Build a layered stack. Browser parity for JavaScript, residential proxies for scale, and guarded captcha solver fallbacks. Track metrics, automate bad IP retirement, and stay compliant. Remember, the goal isn't to defeat protection, it's to build infrastructure that respects boundaries, handles dynamic defenses intelligently, and keeps your operations running 24/7. If you need reliable residential proxies for uninterrupted scraping, talk to our team at IPRoyal. We'll help you design a proxy infrastructure that keeps your workflows seamless and ready to scale.